Okay, we did the E.S.C.A.P.E Elementary School project, and we are Patriot Design. I'm Andy Bartell.
I'm Matthew Rayborn.
I'm Darien Logan.
And I'm Kenneth Henson.
Okay, to start the project off, we were kind of given an odd task because you'd think it'd be easy on a 14-acre lot to incorporate a building, but as anybody who knows that lot knows, there's a big hill on the north end of the lot, and there's also wetlands in the west end of the lot. So we kind of had to fit it in there, and we also had to build around the existing structure, so that was kind of a struggle to get that in there. But the top rendering here is from the northeast angle, and the bottom rendering is from the southeast angle. Okay, for the site plan. I was in charge of the site plan, and for the most part, well, we started out here, we got our main structure built, and we decided to go with a design of road that would incorporate plenty of bus drop-off and parent drop-off in a separate areas. So what we have here is, starting here, we have bus drop-off all the way around there, with a sidewalk there separating that from the parent drop-off, which is on the inside here, connected to the parking. These are both one-ways, except for right here on the bus lane. This comes back to the teacher parking and truck dock. So that's most of our site plan. We had to start off leveling the entire lot due to the big hill. So that's for the most part our site plan.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This bottom structure right here is the old school, that's the existing school that's there right now, and all of this here is the parking lot, and this is the playground down here for the existing building.
Okay, so I was in charge of doing the floor plan and the basic structure of the building, and we kind of had a little trouble with this for the first couple of weeks. We were changing ideas a lot, and we kind of ran into some corners, so we had to rechange our structure, and change it again, and change it again. So I had to keep building, this basic floor plan over. We couldn't do a lot of the other stuff until I got this done. So this was our final, what we got. As you can see, it's kind of got a U shape with at the bottom is where the cafeteria and the gym are. The entrance you can see on the right-hand side towards the top, and then the library is at the top right. You can see there. You'll see that a little bit later. But you can kind of see the layout. There's no components in there. That's just the floor right now. But yeah, we came to a lot of stops, and we had to move things around, but we finally got what we got there. So.
All right, and for the classrooms, we decided to go with pod areas, and throughout the school, there's 6 different pods to accommodate for the 6 different class or grade levels that would be in here. And in each of the pods, it includes 4 classrooms, and then inside each of those classrooms, there's cubbies for the younger grades that don't have lockers like the high school do, the student desk and the teacher desks. And in the pods, there's a bathroom, there's computer access, and there's storage areas for the teachers and the janitors. And then in each room, there's an overhead lighting and a window. And then over in the middle of each pod, there is skylights to help light the hallway in the pod area.
These are, go back. The top left, you can see that is a rendering. So one of the nicer pictures of a classroom setting. That was the only rendering that we happened to get, unfortunately. Looks pretty decent, though. You can see the cubbies and the shelf kind of area in the back. It looks blank, but that's only because, teachers fill up their rooms with posters and pictures and such. Bottom left, that would be the area looking at the pod. There's a bathroom on each side, girls and boys, and then there's on each of the corners, kind of like an octagon shape. That's where you get to all the classrooms, and then the hallway going down the middle. Bottom right would be kind of the computer lab / little recreational area for each of the grades to use. There's 1 per pod, respectively.
All right, so I was in charge of the gym plan, and the gym was created with a much higher ceiling, so you don't have cake balls kicked straight up into the ceiling. Makes it much better. And then, so it includes obviously a basketball court, some bleachers for seating, a teacher office, storage space, and then bubblers. Alright, and you can see in the top right, that is a look of the gym itself. You have the hanging basketball hoops in the basketball court, and then on the right side there are the bleachers, and then straight ahead there's the door into the teacher office, and then also a bubbler right next to it. And then in the bottom left, that is a picture of the teacher office along with the storage area. Because the storage area is farther in the back, that's where there's all that shelving. Then the teacher desk, and then a filing cabinet and a table.
Alright, and for our library, we really wanted to incorporate a thing called the curtain wall, which is a wall for like windows to be able to see outside. And so we wanted to have this for kids to be able to like read and like see the outdoors as well. Also in our library, there's several different tables with computers and for places to read. There's a storage area, the reception desk to like check out books and stuff, and then there's bookshelves also on the walls surrounding the student part of the library. On the top right, that shows some of the bookshelves that are in the library and the computer desk that the students will be able to use. Below that is like the reception desk where students will be able to check out books and games and stuff like that. On the bottom left is the picture of the storage area. It's just a bunch of bookshelves because that's where like they would put books on overload. And then there's another picture of the pod, the different pods for the computer use. Once again, on the top left.
All right. I was also in charge of the cafeteria plan. So we had an open design for it. There's also a stage connected to it, so people have a seating area and it's well-used space. There's a large serving area, and then a large kitchen space with both a walk-in fridge and freezer, and then extra sink space. Alright, and these are some photos of it. So on the top right is the cafeteria, and you can see in the back of it the theater. And so it has the open archways, which gives it an open feel. In the bottom right, you see the stage more up close. Since you walk upstairs to get up there, there's a higher ceiling. And then in the middle left is the kitchen. In the back, those are the two walk-in fridge and freezers. And then countertop space. And then on the right side, you can see the serving area.
Okay, I was in charge of the front office, and one of the requests we had from school administrators was to include some sort of secure entry, because that's something Sonia currently doesn't have. So we had to do some sort of kind of like we have at the high school here, where you're routed into the office, you have to check in before you can even get into the building. So that way you don't have any unwanted people in the building. So our office obviously includes a principal's office, 2 conference rooms, a health room, a seating area, a large curtain wall that's a curve around the front, double doors for security, like I explained before, and large desktop space, countertop space for serving people who come into the office. And here's some of the renderings of the front office. On the top right, you can see the sets of 2 doors, so you can't see it from here, but between those 2 doors, there is another door that routes them into the office to check in during school hours and after school hours and such, not during the mornings and afternoons. But in the middle there, you can see a view of the back area of the office, more of a working area for the secretaries and such. And the bottom right there, you can see more of a back area of the office, more working type area.
The bottom right's the health room right down there.
That was the office.
The middle one is the principal's office.
Bottom right. Yeah. And then the bottom left here is one of the conference rooms. We have 2 of them. They're both identical. The top right then is the front entryway. So you'll see that's the
Okay, so I got the bathrooms in, and once we got our main structure and floor plan done, the bathrooms are pretty simple. We didn't put too many, complicated things in there. We made them pretty simple, just, so you could see where things would be, and to see how much space there is in there. So I believe we just put sinks, toilet stalls, the main stuff. There's a man and a women bathroom in each pod, so they're right across from each other in each pod. They include stalls, one in the women's, obviously, urinals in the men's, sinks in each one, and then there's trash cans in each one. The teacher bathrooms are spaced throughout the school. They're separate ones from the students, so that, there's separate bathrooms and it's not weird or anything. It gives teachers less of a packed bathroom, so it's just separate for each teacher, and obviously there's less teachers than students, so there's not going to be multiple teachers at once, and if there is, they can move around the school. The top left is regular, just man or boy bathroom. There's one of these in every single pod. The top right would be a women bathroom. There's one of those in every single pod. And then the bottom one is more of a simplified, just teacher bathroom. There's like maybe 4 or 5, I believe. And those are just spaced throughout the school, like between the pods. I was also in charge of the OT-PT room. PT is physical therapy. So for the kids that need to, be a part of physical therapy, that's this room is built for them. And there's also incorporated in this area special education, kind of like a hallway. And there's 4 personal rooms with desks and like a teacher desk and chairs in there. And then there's one larger room, so if all of the special ed students have to meet together, they can meet in that room. The physical fitness room would be the OT-PT room, which has elliptical machines, a butterfly machine, an exercise bike, and then weights. Unfortunately, the only weights they had on there were like 100-pound dumbbells. So just for aesthetic purposes, we put a couple in there. But, obviously they would just be smaller level stuff. And other typical OT-PT rooms would have like stress balls and bands and that kind of stuff. So the top right is kind of a view of the OT-PT room itself. You can see there's kind of a matted area on the back left, which would be like hands-on on the ground kind of stuff. And then you can see there's a table just for sitting, or if there's any assignments or anything that needs to be worked on. And then towards the right, you can see the dumbbells. And a little bit back, you can see the ellipticals. And then bottom left would be like one of the personal classrooms. We don't have a picture of the bigger one, but it's just like that, but a little bit bigger and more seats.
Alright, I was also in charge of the mechanical rooms, and that includes the boiler room, the custodial room, or the master custodial room, and then the mechanical/receiving room. So in the boiler room, there's obviously storage space, a boiler, and then a water heater, among a few other things. Custodial rooms, storage space for your supplies, table with chairs for the janitors or custodial workers to sit when they aren't needed at that time, desk with computer that we use, and then a workspace for fixing things and getting things ready. And then the mechanical/receiving room is the loading and unloading dock, and then a large storage space. It's an open area where they can really use whatever they need and put whatever they need in there. Okay, so in the top is the custodial room, and so it includes a desk, tables, filing cabinets, and then storage space. And then bottom one is the receiving area. It has the trash cans, also a lot of storage space, and a few tables.
Some miscellaneous rooms that were on the constraints list that we needed to have that they kind of wanted as amenities. I guess the science room is one thing that they were really looking for, kind of like an all-purpose science room where specific classes could take their turns to work on, experiments that they had and that kind of stuff. That includes lab tables, storage space, other lab stools. A music room is also included. That was more towards the gym. We didn't have enough time to put components and such in there, but it was There would be desks and other storage space, along with instruments and other things needed to be for instruments. And then there's an art room. They wanted a separate art room, which is right above the boiler room. It's and then there will be art tables and supplies and racks, and then probably gallery cases to showcase artwork. That could also be right outside the room, because that's right in the main hallway.
Alright, so we're also asked to create green technology. These aren't things that you would really think of as green technology, but they really help. So we have the glass skylights, which lets in natural light and also heat over during the spring and fall months, since it doesn't really meet over summer. And then curtain walls, where we have one in the front office, and then a really large one in the library, which lets in light, natural lighting, so you don't need to pay for the lights so much. And then also the heat again. We're done.
That's it. Thank you guys for coming tonight. Questions? All right, thank you guys.